Hey, good morning. Welcome to your Sunday morning practice. We will begin with a breath practice. So let's just arrive on your mat. Close your eyes if it feels safe enough, comfortable enough, and take a couple deep breaths. As you do this, see if you can ask your mind to set aside anything that came before this and anything that's going to come after, so you can be more fully present here for your practice. We'll begin with a counting breath, and we'll count an even inhale with an even exhale. So when you're ready, take an inhale and count to the top of your inhale. Feel what that breath is like. This isn't your deepest or your longest breath. This is more about your natural breath with maybe a little count or two added onto it for mindfulness. Once you have the count of your inhale, and it may take a couple times, begin to match your exhale to your inhale breath. If you're inhaling for 4, you will exhale for 4. And if you gain a little more breath capacity through this practice, and if you want to extend your count to 5 or 6 or wherever you're at, you can do that. Try to stay with the counting breath. And notice any feeling tones that are arriving in your body or may have already been present. We need not judge or write a story or justify why these feeling tones are here. We can just notice. Perhaps tightness in your chest or throat as you breathe in. Now we're going to add a couple counts to the exhale. So if you've been breathing in for 4, exhaling for 4, try exhaling for 6 counts, or just adding 1 to 2 counts onto just the exhale. It can be easier to release the first 1/3 of your exhale really slowly, and then letting the rest of the exhale release. That way, you're slowing it down. It's like a pressure chamber, letting just a little bit out slowly, slowly, and then the rest. Keep staying with this counting breath. Your efforts are valued, your efforts are making a difference. And now release the count of your breath and just be with the feeling tone of that same inhale with an extended exhale. In a few breath cycles, we're going to add on to this with a little bit of arm movement. So allow your arms to dangle out to the side. And we'll be taking the 3-part breath. So as you inhale, fill your lower belly and then expand your ribs and draw your arms all the way up as the breath draws all the way up as well. That's your inhale. As you exhale, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to begin to exhale from the chest. The ribs can descend and your belly can hug towards your spine. So when you use your arms in this movement, keep breathing with me here, 3-part. It helps aid your diaphragm to expand. And your diaphragm is the breathing muscle that opens up kind of like an umbrella. So you can imagine as you're opening your arms, once you get to your ribs, that's like an umbrella opening. And as you exhale, The umbrella closes, massaging all of your internal organs. Getting a full breath like this. Let's do one more 3-part breath. Helps all of your body systems, your nervous system, helps you take in full breath of new oxygen that can nourish your blood. The blood cells can then take this new oxygen to the tissues to rejuvenate and help things not get so stuck. So rest your arms down now and just close your eyes. See how you feel. It's okay if there wasn't a shift from when you arrived, but it's also important to notice if there was. Just pausing to notice. Okay, let's take hands over knees and begin some Sufi circles or Kundalini circles. So begin wide here and go whichever direction feels best for you right now. We're going to switch. So going wide and slow. Perhaps your belly button tones towards your spine as you reach back into your circle. And then start coming in like a spiral. So you're going to have less diameter in your circle. But don't speed it up just because the circumference is less. Stay at a slow pace and spiral all the way in to your belly button. And get to the point where it's almost no movement. It's like only the belly, only the internal organs of the belly are still in this Sufi circle. And then pause for stillness for a moment. Take an inhale to lengthen your spine and exhale, ground down more into your sitting bones. Let's take this in the opposite direction. So starting wide, yet slow, hugging your belly button towards your spine as you lean back. Feel the shift across your sitting bones as you transfer from right sitting bone to left or from left to right. And then begin to spiral in. So as you spiral in, the circumference is less, but not faster. And we're headed to the point where mostly the outer body, the physical body is still, but you still have the sensation that the internal organs are still Sufi rolling. Okay, pause in stillness. Let's extend right leg out. Keep your left leg bent. Left sole can meet the inner right thigh. You might like to sit up on something here. It can be helpful for your hips. I have a friend here, mosquito friend, that wants to participate. It's my mosquito self on my mat here with me. Okay, so inhale, open your chest and draw your shoulders down your back. Exhale, turn over your extended leg and bend forward. Here you could bend your knee, bringing the sole of your foot to the floor and rest your third eye on your knee. Or if you'd like to leave your knee extended today, bend your toes toward your nose and continue to draw your chest forward. So what that means is we're drawing the chest forward rather than kind of crunching at the belly and trying to bring the chest down. So lead with the heart, lead with your chest. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, turn over your bent knee and walk yourself forward. Use your hands to firmly press into the ground. In fact, once you find a spot for your hands, press into your index finger and your thumb so that you can press back into your hips and draw your chest forward. See if you can keep that right sitting bone anchored into the ground. It's going to want to come up, but let's not come to the bend more than what the hip can stay. So we need not exploit other parts of our body to make the shape happen. We can meet ourselves where we're at in the shape. Inhale, walk yourself all the way up. Bring soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana, butterfly. You can make a choice here if you'd like to have a longer butterfly or a butterfly that's a little more close. And wrap your fingers around your toes, or perhaps if you're doing a longer butterfly, you could just bring your hands to your shins or your feet. Make your decision today. It's your body, and you can trust that you know what's best for your body. So inhale, lift your chest up. And exhale, draw your chest forward just a bit here. Sit back into your hips. Inhale, come all the way back up. Extend the left leg, keeping your right sole of your foot in towards your inner left thigh. Turn over to your left leg, your extended leg, and inhale. That wasn't very yogic, but we got him. We got the mosquito. He was attacking me first. I don't know that that plays in yoga. Inhale, lift your chest, bend your knee if you'd like, or keep your leg extended. Lead from the heart. Lead from your heart in your bend as you exhale, keeping your chest forward. Breathe into your backside body. Imagine those ribs, your diaphragm opening the umbrella. And then inhale, walk yourself back up to your seat. We'll come into tabletop. So coming onto hands and knees. If you have any knee trouble, you could use a blanket underneath your knees. That can be really supportive. Spread your fingers wide. Press into the mat, stack your shoulders, elbows, and wrists. And then let's take an inhale, arch your back up into cat. We're going to take the exhale, undulate your spine. So you're going to arch your lower back and draw your chest and chin forward. Again, leading from the heart. Inhale, Halloween kitty. Exhale, lead from the heart, draw your chest forward, arch your lower back. Let's do 2 more rounds at your own breath pace. Inhale to cat. And exhaling through cow. Pause in neutral. We're going to make a C curve with our spine. So press into your left hand and see if you can guide your left shoulder towards your left hip. So it's a little C curve here. Inhale to come back to center and exhale to C curve in the opposite direction, taking your right shoulder towards your right foot. Of course, you're pressing into the mat, so your arm is not actually going to move. Go to each side one more time. Tuck your toes under and press yourself back to down dog, first down dog of the day. Breathing here, spread your fingers wide, press into your thumb and index finger. Inhale to lift your hips, come up onto your tippy toes, and then exhale your heels towards the mat as you draw your heart, again, leading from your heart down towards your mat. Inhale, right leg up and back behind you for 3-legged dog. Exhale, we're going to half pigeon here. So bring your right foot to your left wrist and lower your knee down. So here a blanket can be really supportive, a block underneath your right hip. And your knee here might be at like a 45-degree angle. If you have a lot of flexibility, it may be that you're able to bring your shin out more like a 90-degree angle. I don't have that flexibility in my body. So I'm gonna bring my heel towards my body. So it's a little more of a 45-degree or a closer angle here. And then let's lower down. So drawing your chest, leading from your heart all the way down. You could come onto your forearms. If this is too much, you could use a bolster or a block to prop yourself up. I don't have one with me right now in accessible reach, but you could use a blanket as well to rest your chest on. Square your hips, so draw your right hip back to meet your left. And sink in here. It's a deep hip stretch. We'll stay for a few breath cycles. Notice sensations as they arrive, but need not label or judge. Okay, let's walk up onto your hands. Spread your fingers wide. We're going to go out the way we came in. So back to down dog. Tuck your left toe. Inhale, reach up, press up, and exhale, return toes to the mat. Down dog. One breath here. Inhale, left leg up and back behind you. Sweep your knee past your nose so that your left ankle can meet your right wrist or thereabouts. Walk your right leg back, your right foot back a bit. Square your hips. And as it feels ready, begin to lower down, if you can, onto your forearms, a bolster or a blanket. If coming down is not accessible to you, you could root your fingertips and stay as more of an upright pigeon versus a supine pigeon. You're still getting the hip stretch. This is just possibly a little more restorative. Breathing into your hips here. Drawing left hip back, right hip forward so they're in one line. Okay, let's begin to walk up onto your hands. Spread your fingers wide. Press into your hands, tuck your toe, and step back into three-legged dog. And return to down dog. And walk your dog here if that feels good. Or sway your dog, swaying your hips from side to side. Lower your knees and then lower your chest and chin to the mat. Extend your legs. Stack your palms and rest your head on your palms for Makrasana. Bring in that three-part breath that we cultivated at the beginning of the practice here. When you're laying on your belly, you can physically feel your belly descend into your mat. Feel your ribs expand laterally out towards the edges of your mat and into your chest. As you exhale, you can feel your body ground more into the earth and your belly tone towards your spine. Breathe through this two more times, two more three-part breaths. Slide your right knee towards your right elbow. So this is half frog pose. And you can turn your head in the opposite direction. So nose facing left as your knee reaches up, and just soften here. And you could stay with the three-part breath if that feels good to you, or just notice your natural breath. On your next exhale, let's slide the knee, replace it back to meet the left. And when you're ready, inhale to slide left knee up towards left elbow and turn your nose towards the right. Soften here. Giving the heart a rest into the earth. On your next exhale, let's slide left leg back to meet right and pause once more in Makrasana. Roll to one side. And pause here in uh, fetal position or like a side child's pose. And then come all the way around onto your back. Keep your knees bent and feet hip distance apart. We'll take a few bridge poses. So as you're ready, press into all four corners of your feet. Use that driving force to raise your pelvis up and then draw your knees down toward your toes. Press into your shoulders here as your foundation and breathe. Your chin can come towards your chest. Inhale, lift your pelvis just a little bit higher. And on your exhale, lower down slowly as if one vertebrae at a time is meeting your mat, including your sacrum. Let's go one more time. We'll interlock our fingers underneath our sacrum this time. So as you're ready, press, press, press into your mat with your feet to lift your pelvis. Draw your knees down and shimmy your shoulders to interlock your fingers underneath your sacrum. So now with your arms underneath, you can press into your forearms to lift your pelvis higher. If you can lift your pelvis a little bit higher, then angle your knees down towards your toes. It's creating length. Tuck your chin towards your chest, toward your heart. You could close your eyes here and even imagine the colors of your heart, your heart's aura. Okay, exhale slowly, slowly, slowly. And draw your knees towards your chest. If you'd like to do a little rocking around here, maybe some of circling with your knees. And then find stillness. Let's bring our knees out towards armpits. So knees are apart. And really hug them in. This isn't so much a resting pose. We're still in a stretch. So guiding knees towards chest. Breathe here. Relax your hips down toward your mat. Bring knees back together. Extend your arms out to a T, or you could take cactus arms. And when you're ready, with an exhale, lower both knees to the right. Look left. Inhale back to center. And use your exhale to lower your knees to the left, looking right. Inhale through center. And exhale to the right once more. Turn your gaze to the left. Inhale, center. Last time, exhale to the left, turn your gaze to the right. Inhale back to center, reach around your shins or thighs and hug or draw your forehead to your knees and just give yourself a squeeze for your efforts. It's like you're hugging your heart with your knees and your back at the same time. And exhale into Shavasana. Spread your legs wide, maybe even pull the flesh of your buttocks to the side. And let your shoulders get heavy. And to arrive here, begin to soften into stillness. Soften the corners of your eyes, the hinge of your jaw. If your heart could soften, what would that feel like? If your heart had a moment of stillness, what would it want to say to you after? See if you can soften your belly and release any holding in your hips and pelvis, like a melting into the earth or into your mat. See if you can keep your awareness here in the present moment rather than wandering off to somewhere or something else. Continue making these efforts for stillness and softness, using your organic exhale to let your body get heavier into the earth, more relaxed. If your thinking mind shows up, just see if you can notice how your body responds and see if you can drop the thinking mind and release any tension. If you happen to notice a busy mind or an impatient mind, just notice and remind yourself that Shavasana is a pose of integration. So we'll be with this process of Shavasana for a couple more minutes. See if you can just relax a little bit more. See if you can give your busy mind compassion and understanding while also making the choice to be present in your Shavasana. You can choose. It's your choice. So when you're ready, choose the micro movements you want to bring back into your body. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes, or gently turning your head side to side. I like to reach my arms up for a full body stretch and bend one knee, then the other. Pause after each movement to go slow and to be patient. So roll to one side now if you're ready. Again, pausing, letting your body recalibrate, and pushing yourself up to a seat as you feel ready. As you arrive in your seat, just take a pause here too, and notice, how is your body feeling? How's your breath feeling? How's your heart? And check in with your mind too. What's the quality of your mind? If you'd like to bring your hands together in front of your heart, I invite you to bow towards your heart and continue to lead from your heart as you move through your week. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me and letting me share some of my practice with you. I'll see you next time.